Yo, YouTube. Today, we have a story time about how Ross Media was made, who helped build it, how I met everyone, why I gave them their roles, and what happened to people who eventually left the team. So, let's start with Jacob Galvin. I met Jacob Galvin my senior year of high school. He was a freshman, and that was actually my first year playing football. I ended up playing both JV and varsity, and Jacob and I became friends through JV football. We also did sports medicine together, and we just naturally clicked. After the school year ended, I wanted to start making content again. The problem was, I didn't know what the hell I was doing when it came to editing. So I asked Jacob if he could edit my videos, and surprisingly, he said yes. But we had a rocky start. I filmed a video, sent it to him, and he told me it'll be done tonight. Then tonight would turn into tomorrow would turn into the next day, and that went on for about a week or two. Eventually, I had enough and asked him, "Bro, what the hell is going on?" He told me he had been really busy, and I understood. He said that in another 2 or 3 weeks, he'd be able to start helping me consistently. So during that time, I ended up editing my first 2 videos myself. The day in the life of a recent high school graduate, and letting Instagram control my life for 24 hours. If you haven't seen those videos, go check those out. After that, I realized I didn't want to just make content by myself anymore. I wanted to build an actual team. And since Jacob had been already helping me, I brought him into Ross Media. I gave him 3 roles: editor, thumbnail designer, and hiring manager. And honestly, this helps me a lot. The process basically be Jacob would edit the video, send it to me, I'd review, and give him changes. He'd make those changes. And then we'd send the video over to our content advisor, Chris, for another review before publishing. Speaking of Chris, let's talk about him. I met Chris through football my junior year, but I was the team manager at the time. And then after that season, I joined the team as a player, and we were rack mates for Lyft. And just like Jacob, we naturally clicked. So when I needed someone to help review my content and ideas, I asked Chris if he wanted to take on the role of content advisor, and he agreed. His job was basically to look over ideas before they were filmed and review edited videos before they were published. Now we have Grady. I met Grady through track and field during my junior year. He's a really great guy, and we became friends. Funny enough, he actually offered me a job at a farmer's market before. So when I started building Ross Media, I offered him a position, and he became our content strategist. His job was to come up with ideas, which would then get sent to me and Chris so we could review them. Then we have Autumn. I met Autumn through track and field my senior year. We both did long jump, but we actually didn't talk much during the season. At the end of the season, I didn't qualify for CIF, but she did. And since I was a senior and she was a freshman, I took on more of a mentoring role with her. I supported her, gave her advice, and helped her whenever I could. She eventually became someone who looked up to me and was appreciative of the help I gave her. Those were her words, not mine. After track, we became really good friends. She even came to my graduation and got me a graduation gift. Eventually, we had a falling out. But after some time, we both came around and got back on good terms. Or did we? That's a whole different story though. Maybe this video gets 10 likes, I'll make that story. Once we were talking again, I asked her if she wanted to be part of Ross Media. I gave her the role of creative consultant. Later on, I also asked if she would be willing to appear in some of my videos. It took a little convincing, but eventually she agreed. However, I came with a different arrangement. She would receive the same pay structure as me. should receive the same pay structure as me and also be considered a co-founder. Unfortunately, she eventually went MIA and was therefore let go of the team. That honestly hurt. But we're still friends at the end of the day, and that's what matters to me the most. Then we have Luke. Luke is actually someone I don't know personally, which sounds weird considering she's part of Ross Media. She became interested in joining the team, told Autumn that she was interested, and Autumn told me about her. She said she had editing experience, so I brought her onto the team as an editor. And that's how Luke became part of Ross Media. Unfortunately, not everyone ended up staying. As Grady, I felt like his original role wasn't contributing as much as I wanted it to, so I offered him additional responsibilities in exchange for more pay. He declined because he wanted to focus more on college and academics. So we ultimately decided it was best for him to leave the team. And then there's Jacob. As of literally the day before filming this video, Jacob resigned from Ross Media. He wants to focus more on academics and do better than he did during his freshman year. And honestly, I respect that decision. Jacob was one of the first people who helped me build Ross Media, and even though he's no longer on the team, I'm grateful for everything he did. And that's how Ross Media was formed, and where we are today. It started with me wanting to make content again, and eventually turned into an actual team with editors, strategists, advisors, and people helping me build something that I genuinely care about. The team changed a lot, and I'm sure it'll continue as Ross Media grows. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like. And apparently, only 95% of my viewers aren't subscribed. It's free, and if you enjoy this type of content, subscribe so you don't miss another video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.